demands today are that the city halt the closure of the public mental health clinic known as Roseland. That's right. Where we are here now. The city, the alderman, 9th Ward Alderman, Alderman Beale, has refused to see anyone concerned about the public mental health clinic. The city has made the decision to do, along with Alderman Beale, has decided to close the public mental health clinic and put in its place C4 mental health clinic. The problem is that C4 is only going to see 500 people. They're now seeing at the Roseland Clinic over 400 people. So they're throwing away 400 lives when they put C4 in place. It is a private clinic. They have no jurisdiction. If they want to close anytime because of budget mismanagement, they can. Last time they almost closed, they literally walked away from all their current patients, didn't give them referrals. There were some of their patients that we have found that live in Roseland that went without meds and bought street drugs for a year and a half until they found another place to go.
This clinic here serves 6 communities. Okay, C4 is from the north side. C4 come here, they privatize. We cannot monitor them, but if they stay with the city, we can monitor them. Okay, C4 almost went bankruptcy. The city had to bail them out. Now, if they go belly up again, what is the people gonna do? You got 6 communities.
We are demanding that they halt the closure, that they hold a public hearing on so they can hear the voices of the people from the Roseland community that access this clinic. They never told people they were closing this clinic. What they did was they told people that everything was going to be fine and they were opening a triage. We want the triage, but we also want the public mental health clinics because they will never fail, because they are city run and operated and they are our tax dollars. And they're the safety net. Number 3 is we want a public hearing for the safety net ordinance. The safety net ordinance is an ordinance that has been sitting in the health committee for 10 months because Alderman Cartman, who supported the first 6 being closed, also supports the closure of all of the rest of them. What the safety net ordinance would do is it would give permission to the commissioner under her guidelines to interview and hire as many psychiatrists as are needed. This Roseland Clinic is the only clinic in the system of the 6 clinics that has a full-time permanent psychiatrist. What are they going to do? But the safety net ordinance would allow the commissioner to hire at least 5 more full-time psychiatrists. The next thing is that they would be able to join insurance networks. The city has never joined insurance networks. That's why they've been able to say, well, these clinics aren't paying for themselves, so we've got to get a private company in. If you don't accept the money as it comes, then you're never going to have any. And what the city has been doing for the last 4 years, since those clinics closed, is not accept any insurance. So they see patients that don't have insurance, and they're in the red. That's a problem. The safety net ordinance would stop all of that.
You all cannot be beating on the window. We just got to call in like you can protest forcing, but you cannot beat on the window.
Is this another fast move by the city?
Absolutely. It's especially a fast move because what the city did was they just closed it. And we, in fact, there's an advisory board that meets with the city once a month. It's an advisory board that represents all of the 6 mental health clinics. When we met at the Roseland, at this location in September, the city said nothing to us about closing it. But we learned at the end of October no, at the end of September, that the city was closing this clinic. Now, the city could have told us, and we could have been more prepared. We would have started door knocking right away. But the city waited. It was another one of those fast moves where we don't care if people live or die, like they did in 2012. We lost thousands of people. We still don't know where those people are. People died, and we know they died because they were part of our group, and they died.
Well, I'm a therapist, and so I spend a lot of my time talking specifically with young black men, and there's so many thoughts and emotions and processes that they're having in the midst of all this, the violence and the trauma and all the things that are happening that we're aware of. But as young as 5, they're internalizing it. They are trying to figure it out, trying to sort themselves out through it. And particularly for men, it's really difficult to find safe space to be able to be honest, to find your authentic voice, to be able to be vulnerable in ways that these spaces are critical for. And so without this kind of work, without therapists, without people that you can confide in, that you can take off those, the masks in, then you see it contributes to the violence in a way where they don't have any other way to have outlet. There's no other way to release this energy, this pain, this hurt, this trauma. There's no other way other than violence, other than aggression, other than what men are taught to do, which is to posture, which is to try to hurt someone else. And so there's no way to expect next year to not have 700 plus homicides by the end of the year unless we refocus and think less police, more therapists. In the absence of having trained mental health professionals, the police become the first line of defense. When there's a mental health issue, people call the police instead of therapists, instead of social workers, and then the county, the detention centers, become the mental health facilities. Right? When they close these, they open more of those because there's business in locking up. There's business in privatizing. There's money to be made in corporatizing the wellness and the well-being of our people. And so we know very clearly that when the mayor gives money to put more cops on the street, right, that contributes to a system where they also building more prisons, where there's judges that get paid, where the parole officers get paid. People are getting paid by the system of incarceration that America's been very, very comfortable with for a very long time. Now, we know that don't help people. We know that doesn't actually rehabilitate people. That doesn't prevent any of the problems that we're talking about. That if you really want to get to the root of these issues, that you got to have people that are trained and understanding and communicating and getting through the vulnerability and unpeeling the mask and helping really young people see themselves in a way that cops can't do, security guards can't do, detention centers can't do. They're not trained to do it. There's a training that happens to help people be able to build the kind of rapport and the trust and to ask the type of questions and to create the space to make it. Prison is not a space for that. Prison is not designed to be a space for that. Prison is for controlling and for dominating. And we don't need control and dominating because that just teaches the young people that that's how you deal with your problems when you on the street. That you use aggression and you use violence. Prisons are violent and we need healing. And these kind of places provide that in ways that we critically need right now.
What is your plan for all of the people that are going to be affected? What is your plan? Because if you do not have a plan, that means that you plan to walk away and don't give a damn. And people's lives are more important than the deals that you make. Because their lives are about the future of Roseland community. That's what we're talking about.